I know I've been on a Divorce Diaries rant for quite a while now, but I just want to take a break to just remind you about this podcast and how I record it. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast everywhere. Seriously. On Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Again, that's anchor.fm to get started, or download the Anchor app.
You are now listening to the Divorce Diaries podcast with your host, well, that's a secret. No names, ages, or any other identifying characteristics will be used as we protect the young and innocent. You'll be taken on a journey as one man considers getting a divorce or remaining married. The Divorce Diaries daily entries chronicle the decision-making processes in real time as they unfold day by day. He hopes to add a bit of clarity to his sometimes muddled mess of a marriage. Cheating, overspending, sex, sadness, and betrayal are the characteristics of this marriage. Is he making the right choice? Welcome to the Divorce Diaries. Entire seasons are released on Patreon weeks before anywhere else. At Divorce Diaries Podcast Patreon page. Link below in description. Now for today's episode.
Welcome to the rebooted, non-angry, non-red-pilled version of the Divorce Diaries podcast, where I tell you what's going on in my diary of my life. Right now, sold the house, and my wife and kids are at our new place, and I'm back at the other place, just kind of getting things together. It's a good snapshot of our marriage and how the division of duties, expectation, labor, whatever has gone throughout the length of our marriage. We both kind of, when it happens, when we settle into the things we want to do, the way we want to do them, and it naturally falls into the place of preference for both of us. Like, let's say, in the past, my wife would take care of the kitchen after I finished cooking. She would, it didn't matter what I cooked. I could have braised meat and messed up pots and pans and did a whole lot of other crap. And I've got 2 pots in the sink, 3 on the stove, 3 on the stove. I've got bowls, I've got spices out, I've got all these things. And my wife would just naturally come into the kitchen, and she would want to talk to me, and then she would want to get in and just kind of do the things that needs to be done, I guess, and kind of sort of be busy while I'm in there. And her being busy would be to close all the cabinets that I tend to leave open when I'm working. I just go and I'll just grab a bowl out of a cabinet and I'll leave it, and she'd come behind and she'll close it. Then I will put a pot in the sink. She'll come behind and she'll, grab that pot either then or as I'm plating the food. She's sort of clearing off at least some of what I did, if not all of it. And it's just like, wow, I didn't ask her to do it. She just did it. And while I'm trying not to be really angry right now, and I'm not really angry because my perspective is just really sort of shifted, I am really, really thankful that my wife just kind of falls in to those things at times, or at least she used to. And maybe had I been more thankful for her natural inclinations like that just made my life easier, or it didn't cause me stress, that would have gone a long way to her feeling good about doing it and Yeah, I know there were times where I said, hey, oh, thank you so much. When you clean up after me, it makes me really feel like our duties are shared because I cook everything. And, if I had to clean it up, I would be pissed. If I had to clean it up, I had to cook it and clean it, I'd be pretty pissed. But you doing the cleaning part, I absolutely love it. And I absolutely love that you take that on. It really makes me feel good. Now, I will say, whether I said it or not, she did stop. You know, she stopped as we had more kids, and it's not like we have a lot of young children. Hello, it's not like we have a lot of young children, but the kids sort of got a little bit older, and my wife did stop doing that. Come on, my wife did stop doing that. So resentment did sort of build. I don't need to talk about this in a way that I'm so upset. I'm so angry. I can't believe that happened. Oh. But I can say that I look back fondly and I appreciate those things. Now that life may be gone. That may not be a life that's going to be afforded to us, because as I move closer to, really solidifying and really wanting a divorce and feeling like it's actually the best thing for me, it's because maybe now in a way, I no longer want to cook for my wife like I once did. I no longer want to, make the plate and go all out, go to the market with only her in mind, thinking of all the things that she may want, and then putting it all out and giving her a nice spread, and for her to eat it and then leave her plate on the table and then just go and have a seat in the living room and watching her favorite show, or talking about how she had such a hard day. We both worked sort of the same amount of hours, and then I came home and I cooked dinner, and then me and the kids are cleaning it up. It's like, I built up a lot of resentment over the years. I guess I hadn't ever realized how much resentment I actually did build up. But I did. And I'm going to take my wife off the cross for that, though. I don't need to continue to bring up, I'm so mad. I mean, oh my gosh, I listened back to some of my old podcast episodes when I was just so fucking angry. I was so angry. I could only see red and I could only feel hate. And I didn't even understand that really what I was really feeling was absolute resentment. I just resented every meal that I cooked that she didn't clean up after me. I resented her for it. No. I'm sorry. I didn't resent her for not cleaning up. I resented her after I talked to her and say, like, and granted, let's do full disclosure. One, I don't remember all the ways that I talked to her. Two, I'm willing to bet, because I am a betting man, that when I did talk to her, I talked to her in a way where I was just fucking complaining and bitching and probably nagging, like, why don't you ever? You used to and now you don't. It was likely, knowing myself and how I used to be, it was not a productive conversation. It was not a conversation where I was coming to her with this wholesome, warm, two-way street discussion that I was planning to have with her. It wasn't anything like that at all. It was just me being upset because this is the 5th fucking dinner this week that I've cooked and I've had to clean up. What the hell? What? Well, Grant, I don't talk like that. I wouldn't say what the hell or anything. I would just say, like, what's going on? Can you clean up? Like, are you going to do anything? It would be that passive aggressive tone, though. It would just be an asshole, shitty way of talking to another person. That's exactly what I did to my wife, and I know I didn't make her feel good. I know I didn't make her feel any better. I know I made her feel worse. And, just because she stopped doing her things that were helpful to me doesn't mean I got to now say, oh, you're this piece of shit wife because now you're not doing it anymore. That's fucked up. It doesn't matter how you slice it. That's fucked up. Now, but what happened? I still developed resentment. Resentment was bred. And then resentment had little resentment babies, and then there were other things, and now I'm looking around for other things that she's not doing, and now I have a heightened sense of awareness of all the things that I'm doing that she's not doing. But not only am I having a heightened sense of awareness of the things that I'm doing that she's not doing, I'm only focused on the things that I'm doing that I think are good, and the things that she's doing that I think are bad. Oh my gosh, you want to talk about fucking confirmation bias? I could only see the good in me and the bad in her. And I will say that's another scary, slippery slope in my divorce diary, that if I had all of these things to do all over again, oh my gosh, I would just have been a different person. I just really thought that I had a very broad perspective, and I had a very narrow one. And I can only imagine the amount of resentment that my wife may have had built up with me because of all of the lamenting, complaining, bitching, moaning that I was doing toward her. I don't know what that meant. Well, I'm not going to fucking clean up. All I want to do, it's bad enough I got to sit here next to you and eat this food that you cooked, that I know I didn't buy, that I didn't cook. And she's living in this perpetual little red hen situation where she's not, quote unquote, just with the dinner specifically, where she's not contributing in making the dinner and she's eating the dinner. She may be feeling some kind of way about that. Or, like, because we have had conversations where she's like, well, actually, no, like, it took you like a couple of hours to get home, and I'm the one that, made sure the kids got their homework done or something like that. Granted, that did stop later, which led to more resentment from me, but I didn't want to focus at all on the things that my wife was doing, like when she was statically coming home a little bit earlier and she was picking the kid up from daycare and making sure the other kids got home from school and making sure everyone maybe either had a snack or had a nice transition from school to chores and homework or whatever. Like, I must have taken all of that for granted, and I didn't pay attention and didn't send little notes like, hey, I hope your day was going well. I know your day with the kids is just starting, and man, oh man, I'll see you soon, and I'll be home to start cooking some food, and don't worry, I got dinner. Or she hit me with the surprise. Actually, I already took care of dinner, and it's, oh my gosh, you took care of dinner too. Marriage. All I can say now, what I know about it, marriage, after having gone through it and likely headed for divorce myself, it's like, man, if I had it to do over again, one, I wouldn't. I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't. Because in the next episode, I'm going to kind of record why I'm going to get a divorce, why I think I'm going to get a divorce. But one thing I can say is I really, really understand now how much work it really takes when people say, like, hey man, marriage takes work. Like, oh, what does that mean, marriage takes work? It means every single fucking day you need to go to your wife. You need to go to okay, if you're a guy, every single day. You know what? No, I'm gonna save that for the next episode. Every single day, what you have to do in a marriage, because it's not what you think. And I'm just going to elaborate on the fact that it fucking takes work, because marriage takes a lot of work. And I'm going to be honest, like, I don't know if I'll ever want to do that again. I don't know that I want to put in that kind of work ever again. Man, marriage is fucking hard. And I wasn't the best husband.
Wow. That was the Divorce Diaries podcast. The Daily Saga will continue tomorrow. The full season's episodes are on Patreon now. Subscribe for early access. Click the Patreon link in the description. Hopefully these entries help our anonymous recorder as a form of his own personal therapy. That's his hope and his intention. Will these recordings of life's curveballs lead this family to the best resolution in the end? We'll keep listening. New episodes are released daily on all podcast players, but all episodes are available on Patreon at Divorce Diaries Podcast Patreon page. Until next time.